The Earth Sky Striker monster is finally here. Let's talk about it. What's up, YouTube? Deadraw here, bringing another video today. Today we're just going to be talking about the Sky Striker Ace, Kayana, or Kana. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm bad at this, sorry. And let's talk about it. So, and then we're going to get a little bit into the lore and what the future of Sky Striker kind of holds, if we're going to be getting more support than this or not. But we'll just talk about this card first. This is the main part of the video. So it is an Earth Machine Link monster, kind of like we all expected. Bottom right arrow, like we kind of expected. And then obviously it's one non-Earth Sky Striker Ace monster. You know, all the generic things for Sky Striker Link monsters. It has two effects. One is you can only special summon one Sky Striker Ace, Kayana, per turn. I'm butchering the name, I already know it, so sorry. We'll see when we get the English name. But then the other one is, if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So it can, when it's special, it can just stop an attack or stop your opponent from attacking with a monster, which is honestly okay. We'll kind of get more into that in a second. And then its second effect reads, each time you activate a Sky Striker spell card, gain 100 life points immediately after it resolves. Now, what's really cool about this is, well, it's in time. With the time rules, this effect's actually really good. Besides, if the time rules weren't what they were currently, this effect would be really bad, or just not very good at all. But this effect is actually really good just because of time. If you don't have to worry about getting stuck in your main phase, not having enough time to change life points or just get in that attack when you're going to time, you can just make this and then gain 100 life points. If the match is tied, then you win. Fun. Now let's talk about its first effect though, before we really get into things. And if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. The cool thing about this is that a lot of people are going to say this is like really bad. Obviously this isn't the best effect. It's not going to be game breaking or game changing. It can prevent your opponent from attacking, which does help. But a lot of people are going to say that it's just really there, like it requires you to really like go like have your opponent have a board already or have a monster you don't want them to attack with next turn. The really cool thing is, you guys gotta remember, it's when it's special summoned, and a lot of people say, well, that makes the effect worse. But the thing is, I actually think it makes the effect better, and the reason being is that when it's special summoned, you can use Raid to Tribute, obviously as a quick effect, on your opponent's turn to stop a monster that you're actually scared of when they're in the battle phase, which is okay, cool. That does require you to have Ray on board, which isn't the greatest, but you can also do stuff like in the mirror match, like Shark Cannon, and steal your opponents and then stop them from attacking with a monster, which is really cool. There's some neat things about the special summon, the fact that it happens when it special summons, that actually makes it a little bit better than it would have been if it was just a regular, activated effect once per turn. So that's really cool. I do like the effect. I think this monster is good. I do think it will be played, and I think it'll just be played just because of the time rules, and I think it's only going to be played like a one-of. I don't see you running any more of this card. I do think it's good and it's worth running. I just don't think it's worth running more than one of it. I don't think it will ever really come up. Now, let's talk a little bit the Sky Striker lore, because I do love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks, and we'll just talk about like the lore of it. So as you guys know, or if you guys don't know, Sky Striker Ace Ray is the only main deck monster in the deck, and it is a dark 1500. And what's really cool, it goes through different modes. So all the Link monsters are actually Ray as well, but it's just the armor she's wearing that changes. It's the same girl, but she wears different types of armor. With Kagari being an offensive unit or offensive armor, what it does is obviously it gains her attack. So as you guys can see, it's offensive. And then Shizuku is defensive, which is really cool because it stops your opponent's monsters from having so much attack. Lowers their attack. Kind of plays a little bit of a defense there. And then Hayate came, and then it kind of it can attack directly, which is really the closest thing I could really put it towards is like it's really fast, it's speedy, or it's more oriented towards speed, rather than, so it's kind of offensive, and it's oriented towards speed. Whereas this one is, once again, it's a defensive card. Kinda, I think that's the best way we're gonna say it. I don't know. I think it's a really good defensive card. Obviously, so it kind of goes towards that defense again. But then it also has the healing aspect, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool where it went. Now the thing is, so now we have fire, water, wind, and earth. Does that mean we're going to get a light? And you can argue a dark link. Now, I don't think we're gonna get a light and a dark link, being due to the fact that we already have a dark monster, which is Ray. So we may get a light monster. I could see that happening. I'm not really sure how that could work. If it would be a link monster. If it would be a link monster, I think if we got a light, we would get a down arrow light monster, which would be really cool. Just straight bottom arrow. And I don't know what its effect would be. That's a possibility. Another possibility is that we get a light main deck monster, or a light main deck version of Ray with a slightly different effect, but it would still be Ray, but it would just have the light attribute and have a different effect. Maybe special summon from graveyard a linked monster, or just something completely different in general. I think those would be really cool to have. I think I'd prefer having the light main deck monster, having a little bit more options. That would be pretty cool, I think. And then I think that's pretty much our options there. Or they're done. This might be the end of the Sky Striker support. This might be it. This is them finishing it off, saying let's go. Who knows? There might be more spell cards. We'll have to see. We'll see what Savage Strike brings and whatnot. Anyway, guys, please comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. See ya.